Hey, before you think just another sub, let me tell you what happened the first time I added the Klipsch R-100SW to my system. I pressed play on a movie I knew by heart, and halfway through the first action scene I realized I'd never actually felt the bass the way it was meant to be felt. This is for the kind of person who notices when the low end feels polite instead of present, who's sat through movies and games thinking something's missing here, who knows that real sound isn't just loud, it's weighty and intentional. You're done settling for shallow thumps and half-hearted rumble. Before anything else, check the current price and stock. Subs like this don't stay predictable for long, and hesitation often turns into regret later. You knew it was time to upgrade when your setup made every explosion sound like a suggestion instead of a moment, when music lacked body and deep riffs felt thin, when even dialogue scenes felt unanchored because the foundation just wasn't there. That's when you realize you've outgrown compromise and start craving impact that actually lands. The first time the R-100SW kicked in, the change was immediate. That 10-inch driver didn't just make noise, it anchored the room. Deep notes became tangible. Music tracks had flesh instead of just echo. Explosions and effects hit instead of just playing. It didn't overwhelm, it balanced the sound, giving every frequency space to breathe. Once you feel that level of low-end control and depth, anything weaker starts to feel like a placeholder you never meant to keep. I use this sub in real life, late-night movie marathons where the low end finally matched the intensity on screen, gaming sessions where footsteps and impacts felt informative, playlists where bass had texture instead of muddiness, and everyday shows that suddenly sounded full instead of flat. It isn't about chasing specs, it's that feeling every time a scene lands with physical presence. So here's the nudge you need: don't wait for prices to dip or stock to linger. These units get traction fast, and hesitation quietly turns into regret. That feeling when someone else's setup makes you realize how much your current bass was holding you back. You might wonder whether a 10-inch sub can deliver real depth. That doubt disappears the moment you hear how tight and controlled the lows stay, powerful without distortion, present without overpowering. It doesn't just fill space, it defines it. Here's the surprise benefit most people don't mention at first: once your low end actually behaves, the rest of your system suddenly sounds clearer. Highs and mids stop fighting with boom, they stand alongside it with detail and poise. Owning something at this level changes how your system feels. Every explosion feels grounded. Music feels deep, not hollow. Bass feels precise, not muddy. Your entire setup feels complete instead of patched. If I'm honest, any premium sub takes thoughtful placement. And deep, accurate bass always asks for real commitment. But at some point, you stop comparing specs and just pick the gear you already wanted, because every time you consider something weaker, you come back to this feeling of yes, that's real bass. Don't let this be the upgrade you delay and later wish you'd made sooner. If you want sound that finally feels like sound and not just noise, check the Klipsch R-100SW now and bring the depth your setup's been missing home.